Hi. We're back.
Don't scare people.
Are you guys so excited? Because we are.
I'm sweating.
I'm sweltering.
Hot
as fuck.
So,
Sorry.
I'm Jordan McKenzie, and this is my best friend,
Bree Domino, and you're listening to The Shit They Don't Teach You in Real Estate School.
Last episode, we talked about something real scary, which ain't that scary.
It's not that scary. Come on.
Get out of your head.
You guys got this.
But inspections. So now we are to the point. Let's recap a little bit.
Okay.
We had our inspection done with our great non-alarmist inspector. We had the conversations we needed to have with them about the report.
Yep.
We've contacted our great vendors. We've gotten the quotes we needed to get.
Woo!
We've had the conversations with our clients and found out the most important repair items that they want to get done.
Yeah.
So now it's time to craft this freaking email to send to the listing agent that she's going to present, or he or she, sorry, is going to present to the sellers. And so, so let's just go through that process, shall we?
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah,
So
I think we should.
I think before you even send an email, it's really important to have a small conversation. You're not going on the phone and telling them everything that you're about to ask for. It's kind of like setting a gentle heads up. Like, hey, I have a DDRA that's going to be sent your way. I have an email with invoices. I just want to let you know if you guys have any questions about the inspection report or anything at all, feel free to just give me a call. It should be in your inbox in the next 20 minutes or whatever it is. So that's
you're calling a listing agent, prepping them for that you're going to send an email. But like, honestly though, because I've had listing agents ask me this when I'm on the phone with them. Well, like, did you find anything? Like, what's wrong? And so what would you say about that?
I would just be like, yeah, we found a couple things, as I told you in our email, we're not going to ask for little petty things, but we're going to ask for things that are really important to my clients. And then I'll say, there was something with the HVAC. There was something as far as plumbing went. Yeah, a couple little things. But again, I have it in all detail for you. Just check out that email and then give me a call with any questions. So again, it's just a prep, because the worst thing is when we're out to dinner with friends and we get an email that's 72 pages long and we're like,
they're
what's
asking
happening?
For $25,000. You're like, okay, well, I'm not.
Like, you're rude.
Shit.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Because so just prep them, and I think that that's like the best thing to do. And it shows that you're an active agent and not just someone that can't pick up the phone and call. Like, you're able to have these conversations, and you're still nice and kind, but this is what's coming.
And I also, when I get the inspection done, like, obviously we scheduled in our showing time app, but I'll always still shoot them a text. Like, especially if the sellers still live there, I'll be like, hey, here's some different times for inspection, like what works best for them. Because you don't want to be that person. I mean, a lot of people work from home. It just shows your kindness, shows your communication, shows you're on top of things, and that you do care about the other side of the deal and you want to get it to the closing table.
Definitely. No, I love that.
You gave them a call.
Yep.
You let them know. And so now we're like crafting.
We're sending the email.
It's important.
This is a big email. Yeah. This is an important one. You got to have everything.
You got to have your shit in a row.
Looking good. So you want to start off with how do we start the email off?
Well, for one, ChatGPT is my best friend.
Love ChatGPT. First of all, it's so easy. You write down your whole email that you're going to send, put it into ChatGPT, and just say, make it sound better.
Yep, that's all I'm saying. Make this sound better. This is going to a seller or to a listing agent from buyers or whatever it may be, but you can literally just say, make it sound better.
Make it sound better. Yeah.
So I'm starting it off, and I'm not like, obviously we're gonna come in concise and direct, but I'm not gonna come in super hot and like,
no.
I'm coming in like, this house, if it was really well maintained, if it was maintained, they did the things that needed to be done to keep it up. I always say something like, hey, I give them a compliment. Like, the house was really maintained. We appreciate the hard work that your sellers have put in, or if they just replaced the roof, like, hey, we really appreciate that you guys did the necessary things to do to get a list ready. Yeah. We acknowledge them. We notice it. We love it. Like, it's appreciated. Obviously, when you put it in ChatGPT, it'll sound better, but I always start out with a compliment and like some kind words, because our same goal is to get it to the closing table for both sides, right? Yeah. So I would start it out with that.
Literally what we're going to do at this point in our email, we're going to attach everything. So we're attaching the inspection report. Why are we attaching the inspection report? First of all, you have to ask your buyer client if it's okay to attach that.
Report.
It's theirs. So, but you're going to explain to them why you're attaching it. And it's because we want the sellers to know all the different things that we are seeing in the report, but we're only asking for X, Y, and Z. Exactly. So you're going to attach the inspection report. You're going to attach your invoices. This is important. Your invoices, they're itemized quotes about exactly what's going to be done to fix the problem that's on the inspection report. So you have to attach those. And then the other thing that you're going to attach is the DDRA. So the due diligence repair request agreement, you're going to attach that. And in that DDRA, you are going to be crystal clear on
Crystal
what you want
freaking
done.
clear.
Yep. You can't just put a very, like, lackadaisical
Oh,
thing.
the worst thing I got was
Ugh.
20 different numbers from the inspection report, from like a 50-page inspection report.
I was, like, pissed off for
It was
you.
like 20.1.A.D
And
window
you're like,
seal. I'm like,
"What?"
honestly, fuck you. Because
Well,
that is so, I just don't think that as a buy, and people might disagree with me, but like how you tee it up, I feel like it kind of creates what the end result might be. You know what I mean?
totally.
A lot of some people, when I'm a listing agent, they won't send me even quotes or invoices or anything.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
they'll leave it, but they'll leave it up to us to do it, and that's fine. But if you come really prepared as the buyer's agent, it shows that listing agent and the seller is like, hey, this girl's trying to do everything she can
Everything, yeah.
to show us what needs to be done and do what
Mhm.
she can for her buyers. She's not just throwing me a DDRA with 20 different items on there. So then I would have to print out the whole inspection report, go back and highlight everything just to explain to my clients what they want done.
Yeah. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
If
Be
you
honest.
I
Be
am.
honest.
I'm
Let me
gonna
know how
be.
you feel. Let
Because
me know.
if you have a list of 10 things that you want done,
Right.
and 3 of them are little things that can be done by Home Depot, and then there's
The
one.
toilet being tightened.
Yeah, it's really hitting a soft spot today, but
Are you
it's fine.
okay?
But you have one big thing that's like a huge thing that
Mhm.
needs to be taken care of. Honestly, the sellers could have said, "Okay, let's go ahead and take care of this one thing." But then you have all these little things that
Petty
are,
things.
yeah, that are ridiculous that you really shouldn't have asked for. It really taints the seller's experience,
It thinks
and
you're being they think you're being greedy.
totally.
Mhm.
And it's a bad look for everyone. And
Mhm.
so then the seller's like, "Well, I don't wanna do that. If you're gonna ask for all of this, like, I would have done this one thing, but now I don't wanna do anything."
All
Like,
about how you tee it up, man.
uh-huh,
It's all about how you tee it up.
you have to present it appropriately so that you can get the best, solution for your clients.
Because at the end of the day, it's really trying to come to a general consensus that makes both parties happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, North Carolina sellers don't have to do shit.
Nope.
Okay. We've reiterated that I don't know how many times at this point. So, whatever they give to us is out of the kindness of their hearts.
Mhm.
And we keep on telling our buyers that. So we crafted the email, Bree,
Mhm.
and and I feel like me and you do a good job of, we really lay everything out. So each thing I'm asking for, I'm making its own paragraph. I'm copying and pasting what it
100%.
says from the inspection report,
Yep.
but I'm also taking what Blaine and Artie have told me
Yeah.
and I'm adding their words. Hey, inspector said, da 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 da. Quote is the second attachment. Quote
Mhm.
is the third attachment. So I'm making it very clear, crystal clear
Mhm.
about what we want done and what's important to us.
Yeah.
So after we do that, at the end of my email, depending on the situation, I make it sound really nice, and I'm like, look, whatever you guys are willing to do, it is very great. It's greatly appreciated by me and my clients.
Yeah.
Please let me know how you would like to proceed, and leave it like the ball in their court,
Mhm.
right?
So let's throw you guys a quick scenario here,
Yeah,
okay?
let's break it down.
So if we're asking for $7,000, we're gonna
Mhm.
go this route of we're asking for a concession at closing. If we're asking for $7,000 and we give the listing agent all this stuff, we explain why we want that, and then we get hit with an email back that says that the sellers are only willing to do 2,500.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mm,
mm.
mm.
So now you have
That's when I call Bree and I'm like,
she's like, "Shit,
"Motherfucker." Like, not
shit."
but
So
it's okay. You gotta handle it.
yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, so when you wanna take it?
No, 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 go for it.
So when I get that email that they're only willing to do, way less than half
Yeah.
of what we asked for, right? I'm taking a minute because when you call your clients and you give them this information, you need to be non-biased, even though you're pissed. But
Mhm.
you need to you're the calm one.
Yep.
You listen, you acknowledge, you 100% acknowledge them. You say, look, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I know these things are very important to you, right? And I think you come from a place of the listener at this point
Mhm.
of the conversation.
And I think a good thing to do is to bring out that win. Guys,
Yep.
we got
They
$2,500.
have to give us anything.
Yeah, they don't have to give us anything. I've told you guys that. And because of how many times you've said that, right? Now they're like, "Okay, they didn't have to give us anything. They're being kind."
Mhm.
If you have a client, a buyer client that is really still annoyed and really just wants more, you're going to go back. I think it's important to go back at
Go
least
back.
at least one more time, and you're not going to say the same thing that you said in the first
Mhm.
email. Now you're going to
Pull
tell
at
a
the
story.
heartstrings.
Yep, you're going to tell a story or you're going to explain why this is such an important thing for your buyer, right? You're going to say, "We so appreciate that $2,500. Thank you. I know the sellers don't have to do anything and we appreciate that. However, this is why we want this to be fixed, or this
Mhm.
is why we're asking for a little bit more money. They're a first-time home buyer. They're
They're
getting
moving
a
here from out of
gift."
state. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They're moving here from out of state. They don't have the time to move into the house and get these repairs, like, done. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you just pull at some heartstrings, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You're telling a
You're telling the
story.
story for your clients.
Yeah.
This is your duty to your clients, okay?
Best case scenario from that is
Mhm.
that you get some extra money.
Or they say no, you
Worst
know?
case scenario, they say no.
And
It's
another thing that
fine.
I do tell my clients when I say, "Hey, I'm gonna go back," but this is the thing, they could say no to everything depending on what we're asking for. Like,
Mhm.
do you ever say that to them? Because I feel like that, they're offering us the 2,500.
Mhm.
We take it and run, we go back once more, and, we might risk them not wanting to give us anything,
Mhm.
but I just let them know of every situation.
Yeah. I think it's good to tell them, but, also try not to scare them. Like, we're going through this
Oh, yeah,
together, you
not
know?
yeah, I mean, it's not scaring them, but I feel like it's just letting them know, like, I can't control the
No.
sellers. I can only just advocate for you.
Yeah.
So this is what I would say in this situation. But I
Mhm.
think always going back once more isn't that big of a deal.
It's
Now 3
not.
and 4 and 5,
No, no,
they're
no.
gonna get pissed. So let's just
Mhm.
not do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Do that renegotiation one more time, and then after that, it is what it is. Do you guys
Yeah.
now you tell them their options,
Yeah.
okay?
Now we're laying it down for our buyers.
Yep. So at this point, I would say, okay, well, we got the 2,500. They said no, we're not doing anything more. Awesome. So we have $5,000 in due diligence. Are we walking away from this house and losing our $5,000, or are we going to presume forward and get to the closing table? And are you going to be happy with that 2,500, or, where are we at with this? Like, how do you guys feel? Tell me what your thoughts are. And then shut up. Like,
Mhm.
let them speak, let them tell you how they feel, let them vent a little bit, whatever the case is. At that point too, I always tell them, listen, we got quotes from vendors. I have a couple other vendors. Why don't I see if I can get additional quotes? Why don't I try to find out things that need to be done right now versus things that we don't have to, do right this second? And then we can just fix those, couple things with the 2,500 that we just got, right? When you move in. So you just have to you're the solution maker here. You're
Mhm.
the one telling them how we're going to
Problem
drive this
solver,
ship.
100%.
Yep.
You're telling them their options. And then, like you said, you're shutting up, but you're saying, "Hey, this is y'all's decision. That this is your home.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. I got you.
Mhm.
You tell me what you want, how you want me to proceed, and I will do so."
Yep. Exactly. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. And more times than not,
They're
a
going
lot
to,
of people get in their emotions and they get in their feels and they're stressed,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes we'll try to play, devil's advocate and just say, "Hey, look, like you guys just sold your house in Maryland, right? How was that inspection? Did they ask for a lot of things? Like that's obviously a different state, but how would you feel?" And so I try to make them understand the most I can, especially if they're willing
yeah.
to understand. Some people just, they're pissed and it's their pride and they're like, "I'm not doing it, like screw them." But as long as you lay it out for them, that's all you can do
Yeah.
is give
That's
them
all
their
you can do.
options. Second scenario, which is the great
Oh.
scenario,
Mhm.
they do it for you.
Yay!
And
Love that. Thank you.
you sign a DRA, you send it who it needs to be sent to, and it's in the CD and you call it a day.
So if the
Oh.
best case scenario comes up and you get what you want,
Mhm.
amazing. We're thrilled, we're happy, and everything is good in the world. We close. We get to the closing, we either get our concession or everything's paid for. Now the buyers are living in the house. Jordan, you know of
Yes.
all people that things come up.
Yeah,
Things come
for
up
sure.
and
Well, I think even before they move in, I feel like, and we both do this, especially if they're making repairs before closing,
uh-huh.
we always go back and we check.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you do a final walkthrough, obviously, but if it's something big, like I mean, what would you say like a big item would be that we need to go if the pipes needed to be changed or
Mhm.
just things like that that you can see with your own eyes and you
Yeah.
know what you're looking for? I'll go back over there myself, and when the listing agent says the repairs have been completed, and I'll snap some pics just to send to my buyers so they can be at ease. Let's say we have a week left before we close, and so that week they can just calm down because all the repairs have been made.
Yeah.
But I think important is double checking those
Yeah,
repairs.
get the invoice and even see
Oh yeah,
sometimes the inspector will have like a go back for like 150 bucks. You can have the inspector go back and
and
make
check
sure
it.
that those things are taken care of. So definitely do that if you want. I
And that
mean,
could be a good little closing present
yeah.
for your client. If
Mhm.
you really wanted to do that and they were very concerned about certain things and they were worry warts and you're like, "I want to make this transaction as easy as I can for you. I'm going to pay the inspector to go back out
Yeah.
to look at those things and make sure they're repaired properly and correctly for your closing date." Yeah, things happen.
Things happen.
So when you close, baby.
Mhm.
That house is yours.
It's done. There's no
It's
more going
done.
back to the seller and saying, "Oh my god, what happened here?" So, and honestly, anything can happen at any point to that house, right?
Hmm.
So, you have to understand that you're purchasing a house and the day after closing the HVAC could go. If it's 20-year-old HVAC and it's functioning the time of closing, That's all that
The
matters.
seller's in the clear,
The
and
seller's in
that's
the
where you
clear.
come in and you're like, "Hey, remember that home warranty I suggested for you guys
Uh-huh.
to get?"
And you didn't want to?
And
Well, that would have fixed that.
and that's an important little thing to spot to touch on because that does have some kind of things to do with inspections. And I feel like
Totally.
through that process, if I'm seeing like I just went through this with the house,
Mhm.
the upstairs unit when we went there for the showing, it wasn't as cold. They
Ooh.
did fix it. They did the repairs. We went back and checked a few days before closing. They did the repairs, but when you felt like the pipe where the coolant in the air was coming out, the upstairs unit wasn't as cold as the downstairs,
Mhm.
right? So I'd already told them, I'm like, hey, I know they're fixing these things. We have the invoice that they had repaired them before closing a week before, but I'm telling you, I don't know. I would just get the home warranty.
Yeah.
It was $650 for them. And what happens? They move in and the air still wasn't like flowing as well as it should have been.
Yeah.
So they used their warranty and they got someone out there and now it's working properly. So that just went back
Amazing.
to covering
All
all
your
your bases,
bases. Yep.
covering that ass.
And another thing, do
Mm-mm.
not skip your final walkthrough. I don't care if the house is an hour and a half away. If
No,
you got them under contract
go
and
to
you're
that.
about to get paid on this, you better go to that final walkthrough. I had one experience
I love it.
where it was literally it was right after Christmas, about to be New Year's,
Mhm.
and we went into the house to do our final walkthrough the night before closing. Here's the other thing, do not do it the day of closing. You're
Oh,
doing it the
you
night
need
before
time, babe.
closing.
You need time.
So go the night before closing. So we go there.
Mhm.
In the garage, there was a huge gaping hole.
Oh
There
my
was a
god.
pipe had bursted and there was a leak
Oh, I
in.
remember
Do you
this. I
remember
remember
this?
this. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the townhouse?
Yes, in the
Yeah.
townhouse, and
Yeah.
we had to delay closing. I mean, they had to come out and fix this drywall and fix the leak that was going on.
Mhm.
So you
Well,
it
luckily the HOA did that, right?
yeah,
So, oh, and
mhm.
that's another thing too we didn't touch on as well. When you get that inspection report back, especially if it's in a townhouse or condo or things like
Yep,
that, check and see what the HOA covers,
totally.
especially when it's in a when it's an attached property.
Mhm.
And then also even when it's single family, find out what kind of insurance, that your seller, if it's your listing that your seller currently has, because sometimes their insurance and sometimes the warranties they have in place will
Yeah.
fix these things.
Mhm.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, good little tidbits.
Little
But
tidbits.
yeah, definitely don't skip out on that final walkthrough. You better
Mhm.
get there. You better do it. Now you close, you got paid, you're rich, you're going out to dinners, you're doing all the
And
things.
then
You
you get
better
a phone call.
yeah, and then you get a phone call.
Your client says, your buyer client that just moved in 30 days ago says, hey, this is broken. This doesn't work. HVAC went out, pipe busted, toilet won't flush. We got to call the seller. I'm like,
Well, the sellers in Puerto
um,
Rico living their best life with all the money they just made from
and
their
this is your
house.
house now. The
Yeah.
deed's in your name. So then the next person they're going to be mad at is an inspector. Well,
Mhm.
you recommended this inspector. And that is one thing you take on the shoulder when you do recommend
Yep.
someone. Anybody, vendor, inspector, if
Anyone.
they do a bad job, your client's coming after you.
Mhm.
But that's the price. That's why we find the good vendors and good inspectors.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I think the thing to make sure that you are explaining to your clients is that everyone is a human. These are not robots going out to the
100%.
property that have 100% flawless, things. Like things happen. If you were let's be honest, like if you were to put 3 inspectors in a house
Yep.
and you were to say go ahead and inspect this house and give me
You'd
an
have 3
inspection
different you
report.
you would have 3 different inspection reports
Yeah.
because like we said, they're humans and everyone is trained. No one was trained by the same
No.
everyone's trained differently
Yeah.
and trained to look for different things, even though they have the standards and those things they have to go by as an inspector in the state of North Carolina.
I'm sure
But
probably 90% of the things would be the same, but there's going to be a 10%
yeah,
that's a little bit different.
yeah.
There's a disclaimer for that.
And disclaimers cover our inspectors' asses, just like we
Mhm.
have things that cover our asses.
Yep.
And I've had clients try to go back and fight the inspectors, but you can sue anyone for anything.
Yeah.
But more times than not, it hasn't gotten very far because they have those disclaimers in place for a reason.
Yeah.
And also, an inspection is, an appraisal is one opinion of one person on one day, right?
Mhm.
Inspection is that opinion of the time of the inspection.
Yeah.
So something could have happened in those 30 days that
After
your
you've
client had moved
moved in.
in, and it just happened. And it's not your fault. It's not the seller's fault, but it's just could have been the age of the appliance or whatever, but something broke.
Yeah.
And now you own the home.
Yeah.
So you got to
So,
fix it, babe.
unfortunately, it's your responsibility. You're a
Yeah.
homeowner now. Be a big girl.
Get the home
Get the
warranty.
home. Honestly, don't skip out on that. Like really, like you want to make sure that you and make sure that you have that in an email as well. Like everything, as we always say, should always be in an email,
Mhm.
but make sure that you put that in an email and just say, hey, these are your options if you want a home warranty. And a lot of times too, especially nowadays, I've been asking the seller to give us a home warranty.
Oh, that's a great little thing to ask for. Even, sometimes when I'm competing in multiples,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would ask for it,
No, no.
but if you're, if your clients, if they're good on cash, like they're chilling, you're going to put in a good offer that you think it's definitely going to appraise, everything like that, and they throw in, it's $600 for 1 year, and then your clients can extend it after for sure.
I've been trying to do like up to 750. This way they can
Oh,
get like
that's good.
a premium one.
Mhm.
Make sure that all your appliances are covered as well. Put in there up to 750. If there's no offers on a house and we're even doing list price, I'll
Oh
still put
yeah.
that in.
And
It's $750. They don't even blink an eye.
And I feel like more, like back in the day, like a few years ago, like the sellers, let's say they bought their house 5 to 10 years ago. When they bought the house, they'll come back. Oh yeah, I got a home warranty when I bought the house. I
Yep.
feel like that was so much more common,
Totally.
like years ago. And now it's just kind of like. But more times than not, they'll see that and be like, well, you know what? I got one when I bought the house. So
Yeah.
sure,
It gives
it's not an
people
unreasonable thing to ask for.
no, and it gives everyone peace of mind, right?
Mhm.
And usually if we're getting an inspection or if we're getting a home warranty, my clients, at least the buyers don't feel
That's
a
stress.
crazy pressure during the inspection report because they're like, well, we have a home warranty. Like just this things could be covered through the deductible, right?
Yeah.
So
So make it easy on yourself.
mhm,
Explain that in you can even explain the home warranty in the buyer strategy session.
totally.
Lucky for us, our angel Deborah
Love
sends out
you.
our
I love
transactional
you.
coordinator on our buyer side. That's me and Bree's transactional coordinator. She sends out basically a templated email that just
Mhm,
has and she states again, hey, you use whatever home warranty company you want, but here's the pamphlets and information on the three that we have,
mhm.
we
That we
use the most
recommend.
and that we recommend. And, definitely read the fine print. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Yep. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answered the question that we got on Facebook. That was such a good question. Thank you for asking.
All in all, as a new agent, inspections can be super scary.
Yeah.
So,
Overwhelming.
very overwhelming because you just don't know what you don't know. So, I think going on that inspection appointment, even if there's an agent on your team or an agent that you know or you look up to, hey, can I just like go with you on this inspection report? I will literally sit in the corner and I will take notes, please. I would be like, heck yeah, like, come on, like, come be in this with me. So, definitely doing that. And I feeling like find a good inspector in general.
Yeah. And I think also, even if so, go on the inspection with someone, but then also your first inspection report, you should not be going through that on your own.
No, no, no,
You
no.
don't know.
You need
You don't know.
opinions. You need different opinions of not only vendors, but I mean, I ask Bree a lot of things, and we have great agents on our team that have been doing this forever that I
Mhm.
go to a lot, and I'm like, hey, have you seen this before, and what does this look like to you? Like, who should I call? Because we don't have vendors for every single thing because
No.
every situation in home is different, and every inspection report might have things I've never seen before, and other people have. So that's why it's great to rely on that team of our 65 agents with Call Group.
But even if you're not on a team, even if you're an independent agent at your brokerage, if you don't have someone that's there
Mm,
to help you,
mm.
guys, that's a problem.
Yeah, you
You
you need support.
you need access to,
Someone.
people that are going to help you and kind of help guide you through things. So if you're an independent agent and you don't have that, let us know because we can help you with that.
DM us.
Yeah, DM us. But anyways, I hope you guys got a lot from that. I mean, I think inspections are a huge part of this business and this industry, and it's really important to make sure that they're done the right way. But stay tuned for our YouTube. It's gonna be good.
Yep. Are you tuning me with Blaine with New Leaf, the one we've talked about all episode? He's great. So
Yeah.
informational. You guys will get a shit ton of nuggets from that.
If
But
you're in Raleigh, we'll also put his
oh
information
yeah, he
in
travels all over Wake
yeah,
County,
Fayetteville.
Lee
He goes, yeah,
County,
all over. Joco.
Durham.
Yeah,
He goes everywhere. I'm like, you go here.
Franklinton.
I was like,
He actually even goes all the way to Virginia. Do you
I was
know
like, do you
that?
know Rocky Mountain? He was like, yes, Jordan. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, thank you so much. See you
Yeah.
out there.
I know. Poor Artie told me one day that he just drove like 2 hours from Virginia, and I was like, "Oh my god, are you tired?" He was like, "No, I'm good." I was like,
He's like, no,
"Okay."
I'm gonna go inspect the house now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
He's like, "Leave me alone." Okay. But anyways, yeah, we'll give you guys his information.
Yeah, y'all have a good week. We'll see you next Thursday with another great episode.
I hope you guys love this because we love it.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, and that wraps up this episode of The Shit They Don't Teach You in Real Estate School.
Remember to like, follow us, subscribe. We're on YouTube, baby. If you have any questions, comments, hit us in the DMs.
We'll see you next week.
Woo!